Hey guys, welcome again. So as you can see now we're gonna create Subway Surfers right from the beginning. So I'm so excited. Hi. Well, thank you. Yeah, I know, I remember your comments, so that's great. So let's create Subway Surfers. And this is my first time creating a game live. So can you tell me my sound and everything is correct, right? So that I can continue. So now you can see we will come. So as you can see, this is a live stream. So I'll show you the end result first. What we will create. I were creating this for my game. So I'll just show you the end result. That way it would be pretty good, I think. So if I come here, this is the project I created, and this is what we will create right now in this live stream in next 2 hours. So you can see there we have these trains, we have okay, thank you thank you so much. So now you can see we have these coins in here as well, and we have some obstacles, trains and everything. So first I'll play the game once and then we will see the results. So let's come and play the game. As you can see, and you can see I lost it, so I'll play it again. This time I'll try to go a little bit. Oh, come on, man. So I'll just go this way. So as you can see, we have some moving trains in here, and we have all these pickups. So I'll stop this now. That is the result we will make in next 2 hours. So this is the project. You can see this project is completely empty. I mean, it's not empty. We have these materials. You can see we have the road in here, and we have all the things you can see right here. But we don't have any functionality. If I play the game, we don't have anything till now. You can see we have the lighting problem as well, and the rest is fine. So I'll start by creating a character class. Okay, so have a good day at school. You want to go to school, then I hope you will have a nice day, and you can watch it later. If you have any question later, then you can ask me anytime. Okay, thank you. So as you can see, I'll just come here and started by creating a character class. That would be pretty good. So I'll come to contents, and I'll right click in here, and I'll tell blueprint. Here we will have these blueprints. As you can see, I have these assets, and you can download these assets from the link in the description of this lecture. But for now, the link will not be available because I'll update it when the live finish. So you can see we will have the link, and then you can download all these things. You can see we have the assets, we have this character in here, and I have some character animations as well. If I open animations folder, you can see I have animations, jump animation, running animation, sliding animation, and all those animations. So we have these map tools. You can add these map tools to make this map even better. And also we have some materials. We have some music, which is for Subway Surfers, and train music as well. And we have some sound effects. You can see right here. These some of these sound effects I'll use for these coins and pickups. And you can see we have some pickups as well. If I come to FX, and here we have Niagara systems, and we have these pickups. We'll use these pickups in the world. So now you can see I'll started by creating a character class. So what is a character class? First I'll come to blueprints. I created this new folder right now, and I'll create a blueprint. So by now you will have some idea about how the character class works, how the blueprints work. So I'll click on a blueprint class, and we have different types of classes. You can see we have actor class, we have pawn class, we have character class, and we have many more classes. So I'll very shortly talk about these three. Actor class is any class that can be possessed in the world. So any class we can add to the world or spawn in the world, that would be actor class. And pawn class is a child class. This is object-oriented programming. So pawn class is a child class of actor class. So that means pawn class also can be added to the world, but pawn class can be controlled as well by controller, player controller, or AI controller. And finally we have character class. Character class is a child of pawn class, means this has the property of pawn class and actor class and has some extra features which are the ability of walking around. So our character would be walking around, and that's why we will create character class. Hi, welcome to live. So now you can see I'll just give it a name like BP character for now, and that's our class. I'll open this one, and there you go. We have the character class in here. So we have character as well, like we have this skeletal mesh. If I come to character, we have this skeletal mesh. You can see his name is running, but I'll change the name to character because this is not animation, this is skeletal mesh. As you can see in parentheses, it's called skeletal mesh. So I will this character class also needs a skeletal mesh. If I come here, you can see we have mesh, and this is a type skeletal mesh, so I have to select skeletal asset in here. So I'll come here, and we have only one character in our project. That's the one we'll select for now. So I'll click on this one, and you can see now our character is selected, but it's too small. Don't worry, we will make it like the size would be better. Now first thing, you can see the arrow, we have this arrow, so this means the character should be facing this way. That means like the front side of character should be that way. So I'll change the size of this static mesh a little bit, skeletal mesh a little bit. So I'll change it something like maybe 9, not on one direction. So I have to change in all axes. So I'll lock this one, and then I'll change it to 9, so that will be changed on X and Y as well. Now you can see this is our character. Maybe I think 11 would be a good value. Then I'll bring it a little down. And now I'll change it. I want to see it from a front view. Now you can see I can change the capsule component a little bit from here. So maybe this match a little more like this. Now I can bring the mesh a little bit upward. I should disable snapping, and then I'll bring it a little down. Now you can see this is good. But the thing is, I'll make the capsule component a little more smaller, so it should fit the character. Now you can see everything is all right. I'll come back to perspective view, and then you can see I should change the character, should be facing the arrow. You can see the character is in the wrong direction, it's looking to the wrong direction. So I'll change it to looking the right direction. So I'll select the skeletal mesh, and then I'll come to rotation, and I'll change it to minus 90 degrees. Well, thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to make Subway Surfers in 2 hours only, so I hope I can do that. Mr. Hadi. So now you can see this is what we have till now. Then I'll come and select an animation for now, so that our character don't have an animation. If we prove it, I'll come to map again, and I'll add the character to the map. So I'll come to blueprints. Here you can see we have a blueprint folder in here. There you go. So now I'll add this one to the map or to the world. I'll rotate it a little bit, like 180 degrees, so it should be facing that way. I'll bring it a little this side. I think our character is a little smaller. I should change the size to something like maybe 15 is a good value. So that way I'll change the capsule component as well, a little more, not that much. So then I'll bring this skeletal mesh a little down like this. I think this way it will be better. Now we will see the character better. I'll bring it up, and there you go. I think that's a good one. Now you can see we have the character in the map, but still if I play the game, nothing will happen because we're not controlling the character yet. We're controlling some magical sphere which is spawned by the by the Unreal Engine, like automatically. We don't control over this one, so that's why we have to possess the character class. We know that pawn class can be possessed in the world or controlled, so that's why a character class is a child of pawn class, so that means it can be controlled as well. So it's pretty simple. We can possess this one. But before that, if I play the game, you can see we have this lighting problem. First it is a little darker, and then slowly it gets brighter. That's a problem because we don't have like, it's a problem of exposure. If I come in here, you can see we have this game settings, and that's the problem of exposure. If you want to control the exposure of our game, we should add post-process volume. So I'll add post-process volume into the world, and then I'll come to details, and then here I have the exposure. I'll change this one to manual, and I'll change this one to something like 9. As you can see, nothing changed. Why? Because this exposure or this post-process volume only works inside the box. I don't know where positioned in here. You can see if I go inside the box, that affects the world. If I go outside the box, that does not affect the world. So I'll come here and tell him unbound. You can see we have infinite extend unbound. If I select this one, now it will affect all the world. I'll change the volume to something like 16. Now you can see I think the brightness is much better. Now if I play the game, the brightness will remain like that. Like, I mean, like, it will not change like it was changing before. So now we have that brightness problem, like the lighting problem, is fixed now. The next thing we need to fix is to possess the character in the world. So I'll select the character, I'll come to details, and then I'll search for possess, like this one, and after possess player, I'll select player 0. Now the player 0 is possessed. Now this time if I play, you can see we're starting from characters, like this character we added to the world. The problem here is I cannot control this. I cannot look around, I cannot move around, because we don't have any functionality inside this character. And the second problem is the camera is inside the character, and that's not what we want. We actually want camera outside. So it's pretty simple. I'll come here and select the capsule component, and then I'll tell him camera component. We have this camera component. I'll add the camera component, like mostly we add spring arm component as well, if you know about that, but I think that's not necessary for this one, because I think we don't need spring arm for now. So now you can see if I save everything, and this time if I play the game, you can see we have a good view from the back of the character, and that's amazing. But still, we don't have any control over moving character and anything else. So I want this character to move forward. That's like the default movement of the character, so it should be going forward like that. That's the thing. And so I'll come to event grab, and as we want our character to move forward forever, that's why we can do that in event tick. Event tick is something that happens every single frame of the game. Like if I come here and enable FPS of the game, frames per second, you can see it's like around 98, something like that. So it means this game is updating 98 times per second. So this event tick would be called 98 times every second. So that's why we want to move our character forward every frame. That way it will move like all the time. So it's pretty simple. I'll come here and tell him add local offset. So I'll add local offset, add actor local offset. I think that's the one. So now I'll connect this event tick to this one, and I want to add local offset and X direction. I'll give it a value like maybe 5. This way we can control the speed. If I save and run the game, now you can see our character is moving forward, and that's amazing. We have the character is moving forward, but the trains and things, obstacles, doesn't stop our character. That's the problem till now. We'll fix that one. But now you can see the good news is our character is moving forward. Like when we play the game, character would be moving forward, and that's the good thing. Actually, that's what we want. But our character don't have like any animation. You can see no animation, no running and things. So that's a big problem as well. So I'll come here and then I'll select skeletal mesh. As you can see, we have many animations in here. If I come to animations, we have this running animation, and we want this is sliding animation. Running animation would be in here, I think. Yeah, running animation is this one. So I want to select this running animation by default. So I'll select the skeletal mesh, and here you can see we have animation and animation mode. We want to select animation asset, and then anim to play. I want to play running animation. Now you can see our character is in running mode by default. I'll compile everything, and there you go. Our character is moving. Wow, that's amazing. But still, the obstacles and the things are not working. And the second problem is we cannot move the character around to the right, to the left. That's a big problem. So let's fix this problem now. I'll come back again to the character class, and this time I'll come to event grab, not event grab, in event grab, but we need some input. Like we need to control our character right from the keyboard, which is not that simple, because we need some input settings. Like in previous versions of Unreal Engine, if you were using that one, we had something like input in settings. If I come here, we have this input and we had this action mapping and axis mapping, but this is deprecated now, and in future versions of Unreal Engine this will not be available. So that's why we will not use this old method. We will use the new method, which is enhance input. So I'll close the settings, I'll come and create enhance input. So I'll come back to blueprints and I'll create a new folder. This would be for input, and I'll open this one. Now if I come to input in here, you can see we have this input mapping context, or IMC. So this is the one we need. This is the new method. So IMC, input mapping context, and I'll give it a name like SS, or for sub-user first, I mean. So I'll open this one. Now you can see we have input mapping context. I should connect this input mapping context to the character class, and I can do that in event begin play. So first we need a controller. So I'll tell him get controller. So this way we can get the controller of the class, and then I'll tell him cast to player controller. So we have to check if this is player controller or not. And then from player controller, I can come here and tell him enhanced input. You can see we have enhanced input local player subsystem, and from this enhanced input I can add mapping context. So I'll tell him add mapping context. Now you can see we have only one mapping context. I can select it from here. You can see that is called SSR for sub-servers, and there you go, priority would be 0. That's it. That's all we need for now in begin play. So that is connected into the character class, but we need more things to get these things working. So I need some input actions. I'll come back to the input blueprints. I'll create a new folder. This would be for input actions, and then I'll open this one. I'll come to input and input action, IA for input action, and then I'll give it a name like move to right, maybe, because this input action would be used for moving the character to the right and to the left. So I'll open this one, and then the value of this should be float value, because you know, like digital ball value is just a ball value, and we need a float value and number value that can be added. So I'll change it to number value or float value, and then I'll close this one. That's it. That's all we need in input action. Now we have to add that to our IMC or input action input mapping context. Then I'll come and click in here. So now we can select our input action, move to right, and then we can add keys. So I want to move the character to the right if I press D key. So that's simple. Or you can come and search I just click in here and press D key, or you can search in here for D key. You can find it. That's simple. Now if I save everything, I'll come back to the character class, and this time I need to access this input action, move to right. I'll search for IA, move to right. Which one? Input action events or values? We need the event. So when the thing is triggered, then we want to move the character to the right. And that's pretty simple. I'll tell him add movement input. That's what we need. And this will need a world direction. So we need the world direction to be right direction. So I'll tell him from capsule component, I'll tell him get world right direction, or maybe right vector. Get right vector. I think that's the one we need. So now you can see we have the right vector, and that way character will go to the right. And the thing is, action value should be connected to the scale value, and that's it. I connect this one, and then I'll save everything. I'll come back, and this time if I play, if I press D key, now you can see character is moving to the right, but character is not moving to the left. If I press any other key, it only moves to the right. That's it. That's the good news. So what do you think how we can add some more functionality to character to move to the left? Because by pressing A key you should go or move to the left, but how can we do that? Should we create another input action and repeat all the process again, or maybe we have an easy way? The easy way would be if I come here and add A key as well, like this. So if I save everything, this time it won't work as what we want. If I play, D key is moving to the right, and A key it is moving to the right, and both keys are moving character to the right, but we want A key to act the opposite of D key. So like if D key is giving one value or positive value to the character to move to the right, we want A key to give a negative one value to the character, that the character will move to the left. So that's simple. I'll tell him that A key should negate the value or give a negative value, and that's pretty simple. I'll come to modifiers and click in here, and I'll tell him negate. Simple as that. I don't need to write any more code in here, just like that. If I play the game, now you can see I can move to the right by pressing A key, I can move to the left by pressing D key. That's simple. So these are the things we have till now, and the next things are, I think we need to jump. I mean the character needs to jump. Okay, I should check position the character, and yeah, we need jumping and crouching. These are the next two things we have to do. So that's simple as well. If I come backward and come to the character class, first I'll create another input action. So not blueprint, I'll come to input and tell him input action IA, and this will be for jump. That's simple. I'll open this one, and now you can see I can select bool value. That's not a problem. We just need to press it once, and that way it will work. Now I'll come here and search for IA and jump. You can see we need enhance input action event, and then I'll search for jump. Like this is the function character class has by default, so we don't need anything. So I'll just tell him jump, and that way character will jump. But with which key I should add it to the context as well. So I'll come and open this input mapping context, and then I'll add this another mapping in here. That would be jump, and I want him to jump if I press W key, or I want him to jump if I press space key. So by pressing these two keys, character will jump. Now if I come and play the game, you can see character can jump by pressing W key. So that is pretty simple. But the thing is, the jumping is not too high. We want him to jump higher than this thing. So I'll come here to character movement component, and then I'll search for jump, and here you can see I can change jump Z velocity. I'll change it to something like 520. I tested that value, and that works pretty good. So now if I compile everything and save everything, and if I play the game this time, and you can see that is much better. But the thing is, the character is not acting like it's jumping. It's jumping, we know it's jumping, but it is not acting like it's jumping, and we need crouching as well. So I'll come here and input actions, I'll create a new input. Input, oh come on man. I'll come to input action, and then I'll tell him IE, this is for crouching, and I'll open this value, same thing like digital ball. That's all right. I'll come and add this to the context as well, and this way I'll find this crouching, and I want him to crouch if I press S key, like that way it would be pretty simple for gamers to play. D to move right, A to move left, W to jump, and D and S to crouch, because like our character is already moving forward. That's the default thing, so we don't need W and S key to use it for character to move forward and backward. So that's why I just used W and S key for jumping and crouching. I'll come here, and this time I'll search for IA and crouch. But how can I do the crouching? What do you think? So as jumping, it is a default function inside character class. You guessed it right, we have the same thing, but for crouching. So if I right click and search for crouching, you can see we have crouch and uncrouch. First I'll use the crouch, and then I'll connect it in here. Now if I compile and save everything, you can see we don't know if it is crouching actually or not. So the thing is, when we crouch, this capsule component gets smaller, you know. So I'll select the capsule component, and I want him to be visible in game. That way we can understand if the capsule component gets smaller or not. Now if I come and press Escape, the capsule component is not getting smaller, so that means we have a problem, and the problem is exactly in character component. If I come and search for crouch, you can see here it's a can crouch, and that is disabled. So it means we disable them to crouch. We tell them don't crouch, it means. So I'll enable this one, and now you can see crouch half height of the capsule 40 centimeters. I think that's fine. Now if I save everything, now just look at this capsule component. If I press Escape, look at it, it gets smaller. It is smaller now, and it is not getting bigger, like it's not getting the default size back. That is the problem, because we need the character to uncrouch. So I'll come to event crop, and when we crouch the character, I won't tell him to delay for some time, at least 1 second, and then I'll tell him uncrouch again. There you go. So after 1 second it will uncrouch. Now if I come here and if I press escape, look at the capsule component, it gets smaller, and after 1 second it gets bigger back. Now if we come to some situation like this, we will press, it will get smaller and it will crouch. So that is good news. Now we have crouching, but the problem is character is not acting like it is crouching. I think that is a very big problem, and that can be fixed pretty simple. You know how? Yes, because we need animation blueprint, and you know, as any other blueprints, animation blueprint is also used for controlling animations of your character class. If I come here, till now we are using animation asset for the character, and you can see we are using animation asset, and that means only one animation. We are using only one animation. That's why it's only running forward and forward. But actually that's not what we want. What we want is to use animation blueprint, but till now we don't have an animation blueprint. So let's create it. If I come to blueprints, I'll create a new folder that will be for animations, maybe BP, short for blueprint. I'll open this one, and then I'll come here to animation. Here you can see we have animation blueprint, and I'll select the skeleton, the running skeleton, that skeleton, and then I'll tell him A animation BP blueprint for character class. That's it. Now I'll open this one. Now you can see we have this animation blueprint. Now if I come here and select the running in here and add it to the output post and compile it. Now if I come to the character class, I'll change this to use animation blueprint, and I'll tell him use ABP character. But you can see it stops. If I play the game, you can see it runs and then it stops, because we need him to loop. If I select the running, and then I'll come here and tell him loop animation, and then I'll compile and save everything. This time if I play the game, now you can see he's running again, but he's not acting like jumping, sliding. That's still a problem. So I wanted to come here and create a state machine. So I'll tell him state machine. There you go. And I'll give it him like character, anything kind of name you want, but for now I just want to make it simple, character. And I'll select this to output post, and I'll remove this animation for now. I'll open a character, and in entry I'll add a state that would be for running, and inside running state I'll add the running animation, and then I'll compile and save everything, and I'll play the game again, and you can see it's still stopping because we need to enable loop animation. There you go. I'll come and play the game again, and there you go. Now you can see it's running, but still there is no change. You might be thinking, oh, we created this animation blueprint, we created state machine and state and all that stuff for nothing, still doing the same thing. No, now actually we have freedom to add more functionality, to add more animations into this. So I'll come and add another state that would be for what? For jumping. Okay, we need to write jump in here, and then I need to add one more that would be for crouching. I mean, we need to add state and give it a name like crouch, like this. And you can see in jumping I'll add the jump animation, and remember we don't need to loop jump animation, so I'll leave it like with no jump, no loop. Now then I'll select this sliding animation, and then I'll connect it in here. I will disable loop for this as well. Now you can see we are having these things. So I should come from running to crouching, and I should have another way to go back from crouching to running as well, and same thing from jumping to running as well. Still, if I compile everything, we will have some warnings, and if I run the game, nothing still happens. No running animation, no crouching animation, no jumping animation. I mean, we have running animation, but we don't have crouching and jumping animation. That is because we need to tell him, we need to give a condition, in which case you should go to jumping animation. So I'll create a variable. You can see we need a boolean variable, so I'll create a variable. I'll give it a name like is jumping or something, and if he is jumping, if this variable is true, by default this variable should be false. If this variable is true, then we will go to jumping, if this variable is true. And if this variable is false, then we'll go back to running. So I'll open this one and then I'll tell him is jumping. If that is false, so I'll tell him not boolean. So if that thing is false, then we want to go back from jumping to running. And I'll do the same thing for crouching. In case there is a variable that is called is crouching. If that variable is true, then we want to go to crouching state. If that is false, then we want to come back from crouching. So I'll tell him not boolean, and there you go. But where can we set these variables? Like you can see, we are using these variables, and this variable should be false by default. We are using these variables, but it is still not working. You can see it's still not acting like jumping and crouching, and you can see we don't have those warnings as well. That's because we have to come to event graph and set those variables. So how we can set these variables? You can see we have try get pawn owner, and try get pawn owner means give me the owner of this animation blueprint. So where is the owner of this animation blueprint? In this case, it is this BP character class. So I want to talk to that BP character class. So I want to tell him cast to BP, something like means access that BP character class, or just tell me if that character class is available or not, or I just want to ask him if this character class is the owner of this animation blueprint or not. So if this is, so you can see we have two cases, cast failed and cast succeeded. So if cast succeeded, then we want to do some things. So from as BP character class, I want to get movement component. I'll come down, get character movement component, and then I'll tell him if this is valid. I mean, it would be valid, but it is a good practice to check it if it is valid. If it is not valid, then you will have this crash. So that's what we don't want. So that's why I'll check if this is valid. Then I'll tell him is falling. If he is falling or not, this is a boolean value, and from that I can set the jumping. So if he is falling or not, I can set the jumping from this one. And also I can take the same thing from character movement class, but this time I'll tell him is crouching. You can see if he is crouching or not, and then I'll set the crouching variable in here. That is pretty simple. Damn, like this is an Unreal Engine. That's why it makes the things very simple for us. You can see we just by a few clicks we just did the logic. Now if I play the game, you can see we are jumping, and you can see we are crouching. Wow, that's the good news. But the thing here is we don't need this capsule component to be visible anymore. So I'll search hidden in game. Yes, we want him to be hidden in game. So it's just, now you can see we're jumping, and you can see we can move to the right, we can move back to the left, and we can do crouching as well. That's good. But in crouching, character is not getting down. That is the problem with animation. You know, like that this animation I downloaded from Mixamo.com, and they had this problem. So I just stopped the road component, and now I have this problem. So if you have better animation, you can use that one, but in my case I don't have any better animation, so I want to just change this one a little bit. So it would be simple to change it. I'll come to character class, to event graph, and then when we crouch, then I want to change the offset of in this mesh component. I want to tell him set or add local offset. I'll add local offset in Z axis. I want to give him a value of something like -3, something like that. Then I'll copy this one back and paste it in here. When we uncrouch the character, I want the value to be a +3 back, to be like in normal mode. Now if I play the game, if I crouch, now you can see he's going 2 down. I don't want that down, so I'll change this value to 2 maybe. 2 in here as well. So I think this time it will work fine. So if I play the game, now you can see it is much better. So sometimes it goes down, but that's a problem with animation, so I think that's all right. Now you can see we can just slide under the things, and that's the good news. So now we have these things. The next thing we need is to add some obstacles. So what obstacles? The first thing I want to add is to add obstacle like this one, to make this one an obstacle. Like if character comes in here, if character collides to this thing, well, he lost it, then he should not be moving anymore. So to do so, I need to add one more blueprint class. So I'll create a new folder and I'll give it a name like obstacles, and I open this one, and then I'll create a blueprint class based on which one. Here is the question. So you should think, we have actor class, we have pawn class, and we also have character class. So which one should we select? Is this obstacle the thing we is running or walking around? No, it's not running or walking, so it means we should not select character class. Is this obstacle the thing that we want to control by player controller or AI controller? No, actually I don't think so. That's what we want. So that means we don't need pawn class as well. This is the thing we only want to add or pawn to the spawn to the world. So it means we need to select actor class, and let's select actor class. So I'll give it a name BP. Maybe static object. So this is the one which is not moving. That's the static object. I'll open this one. Then I'll add a box collision. So this is the box collision we have right here, and then in box collision selected, I'll come down and tell him and component begin overlap. First I should make sure in collision preset it is overlapping all dynamics including pawn class, which is our own class. So I'll tell him on component begin overlap, if other component is BP character class, then we want to do something. Then we want to call a function from the inside character class, which I can make in here. I'll create a function in here. I'll tell him lost, and in here I'll just print string something. I'll tell him you lost for now, like that. So we can change this functionality later now. Then I'll come to static object and tell him lost. I'll call the lost function. That's it. That's all we need for now. Now if I collide with this object, I'll add this object in here around this object. So I'll make it a little bigger, a little more, a little more. I'll bring it a little down like this. Now if somehow character collides with this object, then it means he lost. We will see a message printed in here called you lost. So if I play it again this time, now you can see he collides, but now you can see we have you lost in here. You just look at this place. When I collide with that thing, you can see you lost in there. So the thing is, we have the we lost message, but the thing is character is still moving and it is not acting like he lost actually. So that's what we want. We want him to stop moving anymore, and we want him to act like he's died or something like that. So I'll come back to the character class. In last function, I'll remove this message. We don't need that message anymore. This time I just want to tell him to stop the character. But how we can stop the character? Because character is moving every single frame. You look at this. We have a event tick. So I'll add a variable in here that would be called can move. Well, I should make the name correct. Can he move or not? So by default, oh no, come on, can move. I'll change the name to move correctly. Now you can see, can he move actually? By default, yes, he can. But when he lost the game, he should not be able to move. So in every tick or in event tick, I'll check by using branch. You can add this by pressing B and left click, or you can write in here that is called branch like this. So I can add this branch in here, and then I will check it every second. If he can move, if that is the true case, then you will add the local offset. In other case, we will not add any more anything. You can see that moving offset. So that is that way we will have the character. So I should come to last function, and here I'll set this one to can move to false, so he cannot move anymore. Now when he collides with this object, he will stop immediately. So if I come here, now you can see he stopped in there, but he's still acting like he's moving. Look at this, he's acting like he's running, and that is a problem. We want to tell him, if you collide with this thing, then you should act like he's died actually. So I'll come to animation blueprint, and in animation blueprint I'll add one more state, or maybe I'll come back and add something else that is called pose. Okay, that is called blend poses by by ball. So I want to add this one, and in false case I want to character to act like normal. So I'll add another variable that would be is dead. So is dead by default, he is not dead, so that should be false by default. And then I'll add this one to active value. Now you can see we have this in active value. So by default he's not dead, so he would be doing the normal things, but in case he is dead, then we want to add this falling back death animation. So I'll bring this one and then I'll add that to true pose. Now this will only be dead if he stop moving. So if I come to event graph, and here from the character cast to character, I want to tell him can move. This is exactly the variable we made right here, can move. So if he cannot move, then he should act like he's dead. So I'll tell him can move. So I'll get this one, and from here I'll tell him, okay, if that is false, means if he can move, then it means he's not dead, he's alive because he's moving. He cannot move, that means that he's not alive, that's why he's not moving. So I want to set this variable from the false case of this thing. So I'll change this one to not boolean. If he's moving, then it means he's not dead. If he's not moving, then it means he's dead. So that's what we will connect in here, and there you go. Now if I save everything and play the game, now when we collide with it, there you go, and he's actually acting like he's dead. So unfortunately he lost the game. Now you can see we have this object. We can add this to these trains as well. That would be pretty simple. The trains which are not moving actually. So we have different types of trains. This one is not moving, this one is not moving, this one is not moving, this one would not be moving, only this train would be moving. So we need to add another class of the same type, another class which has the same properties, but we want to add some more properties as well. So that's why in cases like this, object-oriented programming is very important, the concept of object-oriented programming. So now you can see we have this thing, we have static object, and I mean everything is all right, but we want to add some more functionality to a train class. So it doesn't mean that we should make another class and we should write all these things from the beginning. So I can simply come here and right click on a static object and tell him create a child class of this class. That way this class will have all the properties of this class, and we can add some more to this one as well. That is the beauty of object oriented programming. BP, let's give it any name. So this is BP trains parent, because we will have two types of trains, or maybe three types of trains. So now you can see this have this box collision, and we can also add one more collision. So I'll add another box that would be on top of the train. So this should not be child of train, maybe this should be child of train. So now you can see I'll just bring this one a little up, and then I'll make this one a little smaller like this. Maybe, yeah, that much is enough. Now you can see we have this box on top of that box, but this box we should change the collision preset to block all. So in case character goes on top of the train, this box will not allow him to throw down to this collision. Then this will just like close the game. So that's why I'll select this one, and I'll tell him not overlap all dynamics, but block all. So this box on top will block all, this will overlap all. So that's why we can move on top of the train as well. Now if I save everything, and then I can bring this one in here, I'll just make it like this. I'll bring it down maybe a little more bigger, and then I'll bring it a little backward like this. I'll just move it like this. Let's now make it a little more bigger. Now you can see we have this in here, a little more smaller. I'll bring it a little this way, and then I should make it a little smaller and Z as well. Now I think everything is all right. He can just move on top of the train as well. Now if I collide in here, character will die. If character comes in here, then this box on top will not allow him to fall down, so he will not lose if he's on top of the train. Now if I play, we cannot jump to top of the train, but we'll check if he collides, he dies. Okay, now we have two types of trains, and that is a good news. We have the stop train and we have the moving train. Now you can just duplicate this object to all the trains in the world. That means the trains which are stopped, including this one. So I'll bring this one a little this way, and in here I'll make it a little bigger. I'll bring it a little this side. So now you can see we have this on top of the train in there, but the thing is we don't have any collision in here. So if I play the game, it will just like overlap in here. So that's why I'll add a blocking volume, just a simple blocking volume. I'll add the blocking volume in here, and then where did it go? Come on, I don't see our okay, it's up there. Okay, I'll just bring it down like this, and then I'll bring it in here. So I should just adjust it like this, and then I'll rotate it, and then I'll bring it this way like this. I'll rotate it back like that, and there you go. Now you can see you can maybe make it a little better. I'll just disable the snapping, and that way I can adjust it better. Now you can see that is much better. If I play the game this time, now I can go on top of that train as well. If I come here, look at this, we are going on top of the train, and that's just amazing. But we still don't have any problem with this thing, so we should add this static object in here. I'll just make it a little bigger in this way, that way. I'll bring it a little down. So now if character collides in here, he will die, but he goes down there, he will not die. So now if I play the game, let's test it out. Now you can see, oh, I just jumped on the wrong time. So now you can see I jumped on the right time, and I'm going. So first I should slide down, and you can see I just passed that thing, and I'll play it once more. So this time I will not slide down, and I'll show you if he don't slide down, he will collide with that and he will lose the game. Okay, that is the two obstacles we have. I mean three obstacles: this one, that one, and this train. That's good. But now the next thing we need is to add a moving train. Moving train is also not that difficult. We can just add it simply, but it will need a little work, you know. So I'll come here and create another child class of this train's parent. So I'll create child class of this class. I'll give it a name like BP trains, or trains like that. So I'll save everything, then I'll open this one. So I think I can close this one now. I can close this one as well. I can close animation blueprint as well. I can close this input mapping and text, and the character will need. Okay, I'll come to trains, and inside trains, as a child of box component, I want to add a static mesh. So I'll add this static mesh, and this would be train mesh, and then I'll come in here and select a train for this. So which train? Maybe this one, this cargo train. But you can see its pivot point is in the wrong place, so that's why it's too far away. So I should come, and first I'll say from top, and then I'll bring this one in here, then I'll say this from front. Now you can see yeah, that's in the right place, I think. Yeah, that is correct. So now I'll change the box size as well. I'll make the box a little bigger. So let's see it from perspective view. So now you can see I can change the box size a little like this as well, not that much. So this is just the thing you should arrange, and I'll bring this box as well on top. So first I'll come and see this from right, and I can bring the train a little down like this and like this. Now train would be inside that box, and that's good. You can change the size of the box a little bit, so this needs more work to make it perfect like this. So the more you work on it, the more it will be perfect. So as we're live right now, we cannot work much on this thing. Now I'll bring this one a little down, and then I'll make this one like this, like this. Now if I see this from front view, it is good. Now you can see we have this, and I think that's enough for now. So now we have this train, but this train will not be moving. You know what is the problem? Because we don't have any functionality for this to move. So I'll add one more box that will not be a child of this box component. So I'll add another box collision, and I'll bring this box collision forward like this, a little more forward, this much, and then I'll make it bigger and like this. Now you can see we have this. This is very huge now. Now you can see we have this box collision, and that's good. This should overlap all components. If I come down, you can see it is actually overlapping all the components, so that is good. Now I'll tell him if the character class overlaps this box. So I'll tell him if other actor which is overlapping, that is BP character, then we want to do something. I'll add a variable and tell him can move train. The train is moving or not. By default he is not moving, that's false. When the character overlaps in here, then we want to tell him set this one, and we want him to move. Then we want to delay for some time because we want to stop him back. So I want to delay for 3 seconds, and then I want tell him can move, set can move. I want tell him no, now he's not moving back. So for 3 seconds he will be moving. Now if I come back to event tick, and in event tick after this parent, I'll add local offset to this box. So I'll tell him add local offset and maybe an X direction. I'll check it if that's the box X direction or not. Yeah, it is X direction, so I'll add that an X direction. This should be a little faster, like 7, and then I'll connect it in here. But before that, I'll check. I'll add the branch by pressing B and left click, and then I'll tell him can move train. If he can move, then he will move. In other case, he will not move. Now if I add this train into the world, so I'll remove this train, and I'll add that train in place of this train. So I'll remove this one, and then I'll come here and add this moving train in here. So now I should adjust it correctly, and then I'll bring it a little up like this. There you go. I think that's all right. So now you can see where is the box collision. The box collision is in here. When character just like enters in this area, that train will come forward. So if I play the game this time, now we will have one moving train as well. Now you can see that train is coming, and I should go. If I collide with that train, I will lose. So that is pretty simple. Now we have a moving train. Congratulations, that is great. So we can go on top of the moving train as well. If I come here this time, you can see I can come on top, and I should bring him a little forward so that he should come to the right area. So this time you can see he is coming, and I cannot go on top of the moving train. That is great. So now you can see we have one more feature. We have this moving train. He comes, and if we collide with the moving train, we will lose, which is not a good news. So what is next? So we have next we need coins. We should have at least some coins in the world that character can pick up. So for coins, luckily we have some Niagara systems. If I come here, you can see we have this Niagara system, and this is the one. No, this is shelled. I don't want to use this shelled one. I can close this trains anymore. I think we don't need it. And you can see I can add this NS pickup, so Niagara system pickup. This is the one I want to use, so I'll remove that one back because we need to create a blueprint class for this. So I'll come to blueprint, and this time I'll create a new folder that would be for coins. Then I'll open this one, and then I can create another blueprint class. And guess which one we should select? You're right, we should select actor class because we don't want to control it, or that's not walking around. So actor class is the right one. BP coin would be its name, simple like that. BP coin is the name. I'll open this one, and now you can see I can add Niagara system component. You can see this is Niagara system in parentheses. You can see it's Niagara system. So I'll select this one, and then I'll tell him Niagara system component, particle component. Now you can see it is in here because I selected that one, so that's why it came in here. And then I'll add a sphere component as well. So I'll add this sphere component. Oh, not sphere, actually sphere collision. So I'll search for collision. You can see we have this sphere collision, and I need to bring that a little up and make it a little bigger like this. So now that is pretty good. You can see we have sphere component, no, collision I mean, and that should overlap all dynamics. You can see if I come here, overlap all dynamics. That's what we want. And then I'll come here. What do we want to do now? We want to tell him if on component begin overlap, if this is from other actor, if that is our own character. So I'll tell him BP character. If that is character, then we want to add a function to the character class. So I'll come to character class, add function, and that function would be add coin. So that's it. If the other actor is the character class, then I want to tell him call that function add coin, and after calling that function I want to play sound to D. So I'll tell him play sound to D. So which sound? From sound effects, we have the sound effects in our project. So from sound effects I can search for coin, and we have different sounds. I think this is, no, this is the one. I think this is a good one. So I'll select this sound effect, and then I want destroy actor. That's it. That's all we need. But I have to do some things in character class as well. I'll come to character class, and here I'll add another variable. This would be coins count, and this should be integer value because we want to count the like coins, you know. So then I'll come every time we add new coin, I'll take the coin, and then I'll set the coin, and then I'll get the previous coins, and then I'll add 1 into that. So I'll come here and add 1 into the coins, so that we will have new coins every time. And then I want to print string, so I want to print the new number of coins into the screen like this. Now you can see if I come back to the map, and then I'll add that coin actor to the world. I'll come to blueprint, and here you can see we have coins, and I can simply add this to the world. I'll duplicate it multiple times so that we have multiple coins like this. I'll bring this one in this area like this. Now you can see if I play the game, you should see the things in right here. Just focus on this place. When we pick up a new coin, we will have like the number of coins. So if I play the game, now you can see, look at that, we just picked 11 coins and that's crazy. Now we have the coins, and we have a good sound effect that just looks good. So but what we want now is we don't want these sound effect, you know, like these coins to be just printed and like string in here. That's not actually what we want. What we want is a beautiful UI in here, so that we can have like, you know, that UI in here, and that will look good. So let's add the UI, and adding UI is pretty simple. I'll come down to the blueprints again, and then I'll create another folder. This would be for UI, and then I can open this UI, and then I can create, you can see I can come to user interface and create widget blueprint, and user widget, I'll tell him WBP widget blueprint, and then I'll call this one UI, simple as that. Now if I open this one, I'll add a canvas panel in here. So I'll search for canvas panel like this, Now you can see we have the canvas panel in here. This will show us the screen, like the screen we see in there. Then I'll make it simple because you know, we're live, we cannot give it a good design, but like I'll show you how you can do that, and then you can give it a good design. So I'll come and change the color to something like a little yellow or something like that, and then I want to change its transparency, so it should be transparent like this, and then this should be anchor on the right top corner like that. And then the second thing I want to do is to add text in here, so I'll bring this text, and then I'll change, I don't want to change it for now, but I think I want to change size of the text like this maybe, and then I'll bring this text in here. Now you can see that is the text we have in there. I'll just make it a little bit like this, so I think that will look good. I'm not sure I have the coins icon or not. I think I don't have any coin icon, but you can download as PNG file and add it, but I'm not going to talk about that now. So now you can see we have this, and then I'll change the name of this like coin count like this, and then I'll tell him this is a variable because we want to change it. So we want to bind this variable, so I'll create binding in here. Now you can see we have this create binding, which is called get coin count. So this is the function. I'll just change this function to set coin count like this, and we want to set this from the function. Whenever we call the function, we will add this variable. So I'll change this one to something like not return value, I mean input. We want to change the input, not return value 1. We want to change it to something like maybe a coin count is a good value for this. So we want to print the number of coins. Now if I compile, you can see I think we have a problem. Coin count. Okay, I'll just remove this one, and I'll remove this function as well. I'll create my own function, so I'll just tell him set coin count like this, and then I'll take the coin count, and then I'll get this one, and then I'll tell him set text. So we want to set this text, and simple like that. This is our own way. Now you can see if I in text, I'll change this variable name to not in text. I'll change it to something like coin count like that. Now if I compile, it would be compiled successfully, and none was not found on WP UI. Where is I'll just come here. Okay, something is wrong in here. So this is a variable actually, coin count. I'm not sure what is the problem in here, so it is not getting compiled. I'll remove this thing again. I'll remove the text as well. I think it is somehow the text problem, so I'll add the text again, and then I'll change its color a little bit, and then I'll change the size to something like 70, and then I'll bring it to the right place we want. I'll change this one to something like coin count, and then I want this to be a variable, and then I can open event graph, and now you can see we have this coin count. So now I'll add this set coin count function. I'll open this one. If I compile, that compiles successfully. If I get this get coin, and then I'll tell him set text. So I want to set this text, and there you go. If I compile, you can see it's compiled successfully, and there you go. It is compiling successful this time. So likely it is working again, and I'll save everything. So we have this design, like you can add some images and things in here. It's pretty simple. But I will make it simple because we are live and we don't have that much time. Half the time is still gone, so in 1 hour I should complete it. Now you can see there we have it. I'll compile everything, and if I play the game, we don't have it on screen. Why? Because I have to come to character class, and in event graph in begin play, after adding this mapping context, I'll tell him create widget. So I'll create the widget. Which widget we want to create? We want to create this UI widget, and then I want to promote it to variable. I'll give it a name like WBP UI. that is the name of our variable, and then I'll tell him add to viewport. There you go. Now if I compile and save everything, you will see that on the screen. But the thing is, like, first the text is outside the box, that's the first problem, and second, it is look like text block. So it is not the number of coins we have. So the first problem we want to fix is to come here and change this text to the right top corner like this. Now the first problem would be fixed, and the second problem we can fix is to come after adding this to viewport. I'll get this one, and from here I'll tell him set coin count, and by default it should be 0. So by default it would be 0 like this. So now if I compile and save everything, now you can see we have 0 in there, but it's not increasing by adding new coins. That problem can be fixed. I'll close these two. I think we don't need them anymore. I'll come to character class here to add coin. This time I don't need to print string. All I need is to come, and from this WBP UI I want to tell him set coin count, and we want to set coin count from here. There you go. This is conversion node, and that would be added automatically by Unreal Engine. I'll compile everything, I'll save everything, and then I will run the game again. Look at that, we have number of coins in there, and that sounds good, but the design is not that beautiful. It doesn't look that good. So I'll come and open this one again. So the thing is, what we want, I just want to make it center, so that it would be a little better. Now you can see, I think it is a little better, not too much better. We want to add a coin icon as well, so I'll check if I have a coin icon or not. I mean, I had one, but you can download it from online, like we can search it on Google. So I'll do it. So I'll come and tell him coin icon. I know you don't see what I see, so I'll open this one. Now you can see I'll come to image. I'll just find one coin icon, like just anyone which is in there and which is PNG. So the background should not be there. I'll just find one for now. I think, I'm not sure which of them, or the background which is actually PNG. So I'll create a new folder in here, and now you can see if I open this one, oh no, it is not what we want. So let's find out. Oh man, I should have this one, I forgot it. Okay, what about this one? If I save this one, and this is not correct again. Okay, you can download one of these, you can find it, and then that would be that you can add to the world. I think this would be fine. So if I add this one, hopefully no. Okay, so for now I'll just come here in assets. I'll import there one, I think this one, but this has this background, so I'll show you how you can add it. It is pretty simple. You can just drag and drop it into the world, and that way it would be in the world, but this one has this background, and that is not looking good, so that's why I'll remove it back. So that's how you can add it, and simple as that. Now you can see we have these things, and we have the coins, we have the UI and everything. The next thing we want to add is to add a losing and winning screen, and losing and winning screen is also pretty simple. For that I can create a new UI, so I'll come to blueprint class and UI, and then I'll create a new widget blueprint, and then I'll tell him user widget WBP, and that would be like end screen maybe, because like that's in end screen. I'll add canvas panel first, so that we should know the size of the screen, and then I'll add this button in here. I'll make this button huge like this, so in here we can write the end screen message, and then I can add text as well, so text would be inside the box. I'll change the size this much. I'll just change the color a little bit. I'll change the color of the box as well, like this. and then I can add blur as well, background blur. So I'll add the background blur in there. I'll change it like this, so it should affect the whole world. And then I can come blur strength, I can change it, but this should be in here. Come on, like this. Now you can see text would be on top of that. Now you can see this is in the screen message like this, and this is a variable. And then I'll come to event crop. I'll create a new function, set end screen, and there you go. I can simply get this one and tell him set text. So I'll set text from here, and then the text would come anywhere we call this function, and then I'll tell him end screen message like this. So this would be the end screen message, and we can compile and save everything. So now I'll come back to character class, and whenever we lose the game, first we only have losing case till now. So when we lose the game, we want to create a widget. So I'll tell him create widget blueprint, and this time it would be end screen, and then I'll promote this to variable. So end screen like this, and after promoting this to variable, I'll add this to viewport, and there you go. That would be on the viewport. But the thing we want to set end screen. So we'll set end screen, not like that. Set end screen. This is the function, so I'll call this function after that. I'll just add a rerun node in here so that we should have a better view. Now you can see I'll tell him you lost like this. So now he lost the match. But the thing is, we will still have two screens. If I play the game this time, you can see you lost, but we still have the old screen as well. First, then I'll come here and I'll remove the old screen. So I'll take this UI, WPP UI, and then first I'll check if it is valid or not. So if it is valid, then we want to remove this from parent. So I'll tell him remove from parent like this. So now we will remove this from parent, and that will not be available anymore. But I have to open this end screen, and I'll change the background blur like a little less, maybe like this much. I don't want him to be blurred that much again. So if I play this time, now you can see you lost, and that looks good. But if I come here, I want to add the number of coins as well. So I'll add another text in here in this area. Okay, the first I should select center for this, and I'll select the text like this. Okay, that is inside there. I'll just bring it out of everything like this. Now if I select the text, I'll bring it in here. This should be in center, this text, and I'll change the size a little bit, like to 60, and then it should be in center, and I'll change the color a little bit like this. So this would be coin number, and this would be a variable, and then I'll come to event crop. Okay, so from event crop, what I'm gonna do now is to add another function that would be set coin number, or maybe I can do both of them from the same function. So why should I write many functions? So I'll come to set screen, and here I'll get this coin number, and then I'll tell him set text. So I can set the text from here, simple like that, and I'll add this one to the same function parameter as well. I'll change this one not in text, it would be coin count like this. So now if I compile here, I'll come to character class. If I compile this time, you can see we have coin count as well. So we have number of coins, so coin count. I'll get the coin count and I'll connect it in here. There you go, that's simple. Now if I compile and save everything, and then you can see if I play the game this time, you can see we have 4 coins in there. Maybe you can add an extra text in there in end screen. I'll just duplicate this one, and I'll bring this one in this side, and then I'll write this should not be a variable. This would be just coin number, like this. Okay, now we will have that coin number in there. Now if I compile and save everything, I can see if I lose the game, you can see we have coin number, and that's 4. Okay, that is great. Now we have end screen. We don't have a winning screen yet, so we should add a winning screen as well. It is simple as well. If I come here, I'll add another actor class actually. So I'll come to UI, or maybe I'll come to blueprint, and then I'll create another actor class. I'll give it a name BP win, and then all I need is to add a box, collision box, and then this collision box should overlap all dynamics, and then I'll come and component begin overlap, and then from other actor the BP character class. So if it is BP character class, then I'll add a function to character class that would be like win, not wind, win, like that, and then from win I'll call that win function like this. So now what we do in win function is I'll come here, and in win function, first thing I'll set this can move. I'll tell him no, he cannot move anymore, and he should not act like he's dead. So that's why I'll get this static mesh, and then I'll tell him set hidden in game. I just want to hide the character. And the second thing, I'll just copy the rest of the code from here, from the last function. So I'll come and paste it in here, just bring it like this. We want to create the end screen message, promote to variable, add to viewport, and we want to remove that from parent. The only thing we need is to, instead of writing you win, we will write you, instead of writing you last, we will write you win this time. Let's compile, and then I'll come here and add this box to make it test. Like I will not add it to the end for now. I just want to test it, so I'll add it in here, and I'll check if I can win or not. So I'll bring this one a little bit in here. So when I collide with this box, I should win the game. So I'll play the game again, and then I'll come this side, and you can see you win. But there's still the thing. You can see a character is acting like he's dead, and I think that is a bug in here. So I'll come to character class. New hidden in game. Yes, hidden in game. I should enable. This was a bug, so we should be careful with these bugs. Now if I play the game, and I'll jump in here, now you can see you win, and we don't have character class, and coin number is 4. So that's the good thing. Now I can simply take this, select the winning actor, and I'll come and take it to the end like this, pressing shift, so that the camera will also move it. I'll bring it in here, so if somehow character gets into that area, he will win, and he will have the coin count and everything in there. And if he collides with any of these things, he will lose. And the next problem, you can see right here, we have this problem, like these Niagara effects, we don't see them anymore. That is because if I come to Niagara systems in here, I'll open this one, they die. If I come to particle update, you can see it says kill particles when lifetime has elapsed, and we will tell him no, don't kill particles when the lifetime has elapsed. We'll make them like some kind of immortal, so they will not die anymore. So if I compile and save everything, I can close this anymore, and they will not die, or they will not be destroyed anymore. Now you can see I can go and play the game whenever I want. I have 9 score, and if I collide with anything, you can see you lost, and we have coin number of 10. Okay, so till now we are going very good, and as I think I can finish it in less than 2 hours. I can make the game in less than 2 hours, so that is the good news, because not only I won the challenge, but I also finished it before time. Okay, but it's not finished yet. Wait a minute, I need to add some more things. I want to add, what do we call it? It is called sound effects. So sound, whenever I play the game, I should play that sound effect, like the default sound effect, which this Subway Surfers has. So I'll come to character class, and then I'll come to event crop, and in event graph in begin play. Before everything I want to play sound, so I want to tell him play sound to D, and I want to play a sound to D. Which sound I want to play? I want to play Subway Surfers, this sound. Okay, this is the sound I want to play. Come on, and then stop it. Okay, now you can see that the Subway Surfer sound we will play at the begin play. If anytime I play the game, we will have Subway Surfers sound. That is kind of good, you know. So we have the sound effect, and the next thing is we want this train sound effect as well. So I'll select the train, and then I'll come here to obstacles, and here we have this train. So I want to play a sound, and I will only play sound when he moves. So when he moves, I'll come here. He only moves when character overlaps to that box. So I'll tell him before delay play sound. So I'll come here and say play sound. But look at this, we have two things: play sound to D, play sound at location. We've used play sound to D many times, but let's try this time play sound at location, and we need actually to play sound at location because you know, like anytime this train is moving, so if we play sound to G, it would be to G. If it will not feel like this train is moving. If we play sound at location and the location of this train, so that way it will play sound like it is coming like this. So we will move, we will feel the movement of the train, so which is kind of good, and that's what realistic things are. So I'll come here and I'll tell him play sound at location. So we want to play sound at location, but at which location exactly? We want to play sound at location of the train. And where is the location of the train? This box, and this is the box which is moving. So this box which is moving, so we want to play sound at the location of this box. So I'll get this one, and then I'll tell him get world location. Come on, man, get the world location, and it will give me the world location. We have it. And okay, data driver, and yep, it is cool. So now you can see we are playing sound at location of box, and then I'll compile and save everything, and this time if I play the game, we will also hear the sound of train. We don't hear the sound of the train. And what's the problem in here? If I come to trains, we have not selected any sound. Come on, man, we should not do these mistakes. So I'll tell him we want to find a sound. You can see this is sound of train. Okay, stop it. Okay, we selected sound, train sound, and you can see this train sound is in these assets in here. You can see assets, music, we have both of them in here. So I'll save and compile everything. This time if I play the game, what will happen? We will see the sound. Look at that, you hear that? And that's great, we have it. So this is how you can add sound effects as well. And till now we have a lot of things, you know, we have trains, we have coins, we have UI effects, and we have end screen, windscreen, and many more things. But the thing here is we still have some problems, and the problem is I mean, it's not that difficult problem, but it is a pretty small problem. First, we don't have any coins after this. Okay, first, for a second, like when we are live, this sound is a little destructive, so that's why I'll come to character class and I'll disable this sound for as long as I'm doing the live. After live, I'll enable this one back. So this is how you can add it, but I'll enable this one back at the end. Now you can see anytime we play the game, first problem is that we don't have any more coins after this area, and the second problem is, okay, we lost the game. The second problem is we don't have train, like these trains are don't have that collision things, so I can overlap those trains and I'll not lose the game because we have not added any box collisions in these trains. So we have to fix these things. And the third problem is, when I lose, I can still move to the right and to the left, and I can jump and I can crouch and all that things. So what is wrong in here? The thing which is wrong in here, I come to event grab, and this time every time I move anything, I'll add a branch in there and I'll check it if anything can move is true, then he can move to the right and the left as well, and he can do, and if this is true, then he can jump as well. If not, he should not jump. So I'll bring this one down, and finally I'll copy this one and paste it in here as well. And come on, little this side, and there you go. So now when the character dies, or I mean when we lose the game, we will not have that thing anymore. So now we cannot move the character to the right, left, jump or crouch. We cannot do anything, and that's exactly what we want. If we are just playing the game and we lose the game, then we should not have more control over these things, which is not cool, man. Okay, the next problem was you can just duplicate these collision boxes and paste it in any place you have these stop trains. So I'll bring it in this area as well, like this, and I'll duplicate this one and add it to this one as well. So this one is a little bigger, so I'll just change its size a little more, and then I'll come here and add one more moving train in this area. So we have moving trains, so I'll come down to input. Where is the input? Okay, we have trains obstacles in here. I got confused a little bit, but I'm back again. Okay, now you can see we have this train in here, and we should duplicate that blocking volume, this one I mean. So I'll just bring this a little this side, and then I'll duplicate this blocking volume and bring it in this area as well. Now we will have some more cool effects. We will have some more trains. Oh, come on, I lost it this time. I mean, I was not losing it by purpose. I just lost it because I'm not good at playing this game. There you go. And the other train is coming, and the train is a little down, you know. Oh, that is not good. So I'll bring it up. Don't go there, man. Okay, well, now you can see we have this train as well. I'll just come and duplicate some of these coins you can see right here. I'll just come and select them like this, and then I'll duplicate oh, not train. The train was also selected, so that's why. Now I'll select them again, and then I'll duplicate them just by pressing Alt and moving them around, so like this. And I'll press Shift as well, so that camera will also move with this, and I'll bring it in here, so like this. And the next thing is I'll add some of the you know, these coins like this. So I'll just bring this one like this. I'll bring it a little up. I'll duplicate it again. I'll move it a little more up like this. I'll duplicate it again. Oh, it was not duplicated. I'll duplicate it again, and I'll make it like this. Now you can see I'll duplicate it again, a little down, duplicate it again, a little down, duplicate it again, more down. So when he jumps in here, he will just win a lot of coins. Look at this. And he's just like getting the coins. If he lose the game, he still has 19 coins. Okay, so this is how it works, and I did some more features in other ones. So you should just copy and paste all the trains. So you can see we have two types of trains. One is this orange train, and one is this some kind of gray or purple, I don't know, this train. So we have these two trains till now. You can add more trains, you can add more classes for this train. This train should also be movable, moving train. And then you can copy these obstacles. You can paste it in here, in this area, and you can see you can just go forward and you can bring some coins in here, you can bring some trains in here, you should add those obstacle box in here, and all the way at the end we have this winning screen in here. Okay, so this is just great. I'll just open the final version I did, because we don't have that much time to just copy and paste these box collisions all over the world, or all around the world, which is not a good idea, I think. So that's why I'll just bring the final result I have, in which I did all this step. Now you can see all I did was to copy these collision boxes around, and to add some collision boxes in here. You can see I made this one working as well. I add some moving trains in here, and you can see this another moving train in here. This is the blocking volume in here, so this will block the character. And you can see we have these boxes as well, some coins in here. You can see I have some more block volumes in this area as well. You can see I have this blocking volume in here and there. I have these coins in here, and I can go forward. You can see I added some more trains in here, some moving trains in here. I can go forward. I added some coins in here. I can go forward and added some more coins, and in the end we'll have winning screen. Now if I play the game, oh, I lost it. Now you can see I gave this one a very good design. Look at this. We have this coin number as well. It is pretty simple. I told you I just downloaded a PNG file, so this is the previous version. In assets, in UI, you can see we have this PNG coin icon. You can just add it by dragging and dropping. And the other cool thing in here is you can see we have 001002 like that. So how did I design that one? Now you can see if I play 001 and win. Oh come on, I just want to win. Oh, I lost it again. Okay, I'll just skip this. Now you can see when I pass the 10, it still goes up. When I reach 100, it will be 100 only, not 0000. So how did I add these zeros? Now you can see 100 like that. So how did I add these zeros? Like in what we have created, we didn't have those zeros. So it is pretty simple. It's a simple logic. I'll show you how you can do this. And then that is if I come to UI, to blueprints, here we have UI, and here I have this UI, and in event graph, in this set coins function. So I have the set coin function in here as well. If I come to tray, not trains in UI, you can see we have this set coins function in here as well. But in this one, I just added. At first, I promoted this one to a variable. So this is a variable now, and then I checked, okay, why should we not do this thing? I'll explain it to you how you can do that. So I'll come to our project, and here I'll do that. But before that, I should not make this one a text. I'll set this one as integer. So this should be an integer input. But you can see I'll just remove the connection in here, and then I'll connect it in here. Now you can see that error is gone now. But the thing is, if I come to character class, here we have this problem. So you can see this one is now I just reset to default, and then I'll get the coins number and I'll connect it in here. Now you can see we have this one, and the problem is fixed in here. This is in event graph. We should have this somewhere else as well. So in here, yep. So now you can see I can connect it in here, and I think we don't have it anywhere else. Now you can see if I come here, where is it that in UI First I'll promote this to variable, so I'll promote this to variable and coin count, that is the correct name, and that's what we want for now. So I'll bring this text, I'll bring this a little up like this, and I'll set it from here like that. Simple. Now I just want to do something. I will check if this coin count is 0 actually. So I'll take the coin count and I'll tell him if this is equal to 0, then what I want to do, if this coin count is 0, then I want to just print 3 zeros, not the text. So I'll come here and then I will print 0 0 0 like this. And then if that is not the case, then I'll check another branch. I'll add another branch, and you know adding branch is pretty simple. Just by pressing B and left click, you will have branch in here. You can right click and search for branch like this, and then I'll tell him if this coin count is less than 10. So if it is less than 10 means tell 9. 10 is not included in here. So if it is less than 10, then I'll just simply copy and paste this one here. I want to format text. Remember, just from here I'll search for format text. And how can I format text? First I want 2 zeros, like 001 002 3 like that. I want 2 zeros, and then I want a value. So I want coin count. Remember, inside these curly brackets, anything I write, that will be added a variable after that. So I'll add this variable and I'll get this coin count in here. So this will be 00 coin count, which is 1 2 3 4 5 like this till 9. Remember again, 10 is not included. And then if that is not the case, if the number is more than 10, then I'll add another branch, and this time I'll tell him if coin count, okay, coin count, I'll take it from here, and then I'll tell him if that is less than 100. Again, 100 is not included, so starting from 10 to 99, if that is the value, then I'll copy this one and paste it in here again, and this time I'll add only one value, 10, and the value of coin. So that would be 0 like 01 010 011 012 till 099 like that. And if that is also not the case, it means it is greater than 100. So I'll add another branch like this, and then that time I'll tell him, okay, we don't need actually to add another branch. I'll just simply copy this one and paste it in here, and in false case we know that it is 100 or more than 100. Then this time we don't need format text, we can directly connect this to the in text like this. And if I compile and save everything, this time hopefully we will have what we want. So I'll come to character class as well. In event crop, I will add the sound as well, so we will have sound effect. Now if I play the game, let's see, 00. Oh no, I lost it. So we have 19. So now if you noticed, we have 001 002 till 10, then after that we only have 019 like that. And that's exactly what we wanted, and that's what we have in final result as well. If I come in final result, this is the same thing. We can see this is a number is 0, we want to print 3 zeros. If it's less than 10, we want to print 00 number. Remember, this is format text. This could be very helpful most of the time, so you can just simply like format text anything you want. You can add variables by using these curly brackets, like I mean inside the text. That's pretty cool. And if it is less than 100, means between 10 and 99, then we will add 10. If it is more than 100, then it would be like that. So we have better ways, easier ways inside Unreal Engine, but I'm not going to use that way, because this one this way you will understand the basics of blueprint scripting, how you can add logic like this, if else statements, like mostly this we have in programming, like we use this widely. So that's how you can use this if else statements in different cases, and you will have a cool result as you want. So congratulations guys, this was a challenge for 2 hours, and luckily I completed it in 1 hour and 40 minutes. So we still have 20 minutes, and in 20 minutes we will play the game and we will win. We'll try if we can win the game or not. So let's play the game. there are still some bugs, you know. Oh, I was very close to losing it at last. So we won the game with 211 score, which is amazing. And the thing is, like, we can build this as well. This is a final result, and we can build it for Windows for now. But like mostly Subway Surfer is for mobile only, so that's why. If you're interested, you can write me in the comments. If this video gets good views and likes and comments, I'll add some more controllers for mobile as well, and then I'll compile and build this for mobile as well, so that way you can add it to Play Store. So I'll come live again, and that time I'll add mobile controllers and how you can add it to Play Store and all that stuff, but only if this live has good views, likes and comments, then I'll do it. So now you can see we have this, and now let's talk about how we can make it for Windows. And so if I come here and right click in here in platform, you can come to Windows and package this for Windows. You have this use project setting, which is development by default. So you want it in development mode, or you want this in shipping. So if you select shipping for this, then this will be the final result you want. And if you come to settings, I'll come to project settings, and then I'll come down here. You can see we have platform, you can see we have Android. We can configure this and we can add these settings. So if next time if I come live and we have all this stuff and good views and good comments, then I'll show you how you configure your project for Android as well, and how you can add controllers for Android as well, and then iOS as well, and then but for now we'll only talk about this Windows. So now you can add this editor splash. I'll click on this one, and I can add an editor splash like this one for now, and maybe game splash. I'll also add the same thing. So this is live challenge for now, you can see. You can add an icon, but for now I leave it as an Unreal Engines icon, and that's it. That's all you need for now. So this is how you can set up, and this is how you can click on Windows and package the project. You can select some place for this. I'll tell him Subway Surfers, and then I'll select it in here, and then you have to wait a little bit, and I'm not sure how long time it will take to be built for Windows, but we will wait till then. Let's discuss some things. I think only 2 people are live now, and they're not talking anything, so we should still do something. So because I cannot edit this later to remove this thing because we are live in now, so but we have done everything we needed to do. We added these trains in here, you can see. And luckily it's compiled now successfully. Now if I go to desktop Subway Surfers, here you can see it is built for Windows and Subway Surfers. If I play the game, but unfortunately it will play on my first screen, so I think you will not see that thing in here, but that's how you can start playing it. You hear the sound? Yes, that is the sound of Subway Surfers. I played, and it is on other screen. I cannot bring it into this screen because I'm live now. So this is how you can build your project and package it, and this is the final result you have. Then you can publish it in Epic Games Store and Steam, or you want to share it with your friends. Anything you want, you can do with this project now. You can add some more contents from content browser. You can see right here I have in assets I have these map tools, and you can add all these map tools to the world, and by adding them you can make this one even better or like larger. Till now it is not that large, so that is the problem. by adding these to the map, to the world. You can just make this world a little bigger, a little larger, and that would be amazing. So let's play the game again and we'll see if we can win this or not. I lost it. This is not a good news. This is okay. I'll try again if I can win it this time. Oh, that was lost again. Let's play again. Lost again. Oh my goodness. I'm not good at playing games, you know, but I'm pretty good at making it. You can see I'm just losing it again and again. Okay, I'm not good at jumping, so I'll just skip this one like this. That way I think it would be better, much better. But I can definitely do the crouching thing. Oh man, I lost it again. Okay, I should win it for one last time and then I'll finish the life, so I should win it. Now it's time to do a little cheating, you know. I'll come this side because I have no other way. Oh man, lost again. Okay, I should win it. I should. And congratulations, I won it with 190 scores, I think. Yep, something. It was something like that. So I think that's it. We did it. We made Subway Surfers right from the beginning in less than 2 hours. So I mean, I won the challenge. Congratulations to me. And everyone who believed in me that I can do this in 2 hours. I mean, we have not done that big work, but still it was something. So 2 hours straight working on this, and finally we made a UI character class. You can see right here we added some animation blueprints, some coins in here, some input actions and input mapping context, and then we added some obstacles. You can see we have obstacles parent class, we have trains parent class, and then we added another train, we added some moving trains as well. Then we made some UI. You can see we added end screen UI, and then we added this like normal UI you can see on the screen, and we had this map. I built this before, so this map is already there. You can download it from the description. I'll put the link in there, and then that's all we have. So thank you for joining, and I hope you like the video and you will write something in the comment. I'd love to read it, and if you're interested you can write some more things. Then I'll add some mobile controllers as well, and that way we can control it from mobile, and we will build this project for mobile as well, and we'll add it to Play Store, but only and only if this video gets a good views and get good comments. So that's all about this one. I hope you liked it. See you again.